Guys, welcome back to spooky season. I know it's been a minute, but we always come back for this season. So, yeah, let me go ahead and start explaining what I'm doing. I'm just starting off by blocking out my eyebrows with some Elmer's glue, and then I'm taking my mixing tool and really flattening down those hairs so that way they don't come up when we start applying product to them. Then I'm going in with this Morphe color corrector in peach. I'm sorry. My voice is weird today. Anyways, I'm applying that mainly to the brow hairs and then slowly blending out the edges, trying to keep most of that product in the middle. And then I'm going to go ahead and let it completely dry down. Once it's dry, I'm going to go in with some translucent powder and really pack that powder on top, just because again, once we start adding product, we don't want any of those hairs coming up. Then I'm going to use my Mehron cream blend stick in white, and I'm going to basically apply that all over my entire face. And this is going to be kind of like a base, because we will go in a second time to kind of blend everything together. And then to blend this, I'm just going to use a beauty sponge. It doesn't have to be perfectly blended, because we will be adding things on top. After that, I'm going to be using the Mehron liquid latex, and I'm going to start by applying that to my nose. I did do about 2 layers, so let the first layer dry, and then I went in with a second layer. And you want to do this in like sections. You don't want to try to add it everywhere. Then I'm going in, this is my first time using foam clay, so this was definitely not necessarily a challenge, but definitely something new. If you've never worked or done any special effects makeup, I definitely would not recommend the foam clay because it does take a little bit to get used to. I would recommend some like scar wax or something similar to that. This foam clay is really moldable, which I did enjoy. So yeah, I basically just applied that right on top of the nose, and what I'm doing here is I'm taking the edge of that mixing spatula, and I'm really getting into those edges and pushing it down, so that way I could get a really seamless blend. I think that was the most difficult part, was trying to make it all seem blended on the face. Yeah, but the more you blend it, kind of the axis will fall off. And besides the nose, we're going to be doing some cheekbones and then also the chin. I did not record me doing the chin, but it's basically the same process. You apply the foam clay on top, and then once it's stuck to the face, then you can use your fingers to kind of mold the shape that you want, which is kind of nice. Again, but it just takes a little bit of practice. So yeah, if you want something way easier, I would recommend some scar wax for sure. So after I applied all of the foam wax, then I'm going to go ahead and start on the details. I did go ahead and powder my face before I did start this, just so that the cream that we put on was completely set, since it is not a matte finish. And then to do all of the detail work for the face, I am using the Mehron water activated color. This is in just black, and the rest of this look is really self-explanatory. For most of my Halloween looks, I do like to look at a reference photo, whether that's a sketch or another person's like look that they've done in the past. So if you see me looking down, that's why. I like to have a reference. Then I go ahead and do the dot on the nose. I do the eyebrows and the eyes, and all of the other shapes and stuff like that is really self-explanatory. And since this is a water activated paint, it all does dry down matte, which is nice, so you don't have to worry about setting anything else. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it for this portion. And then I did want to mention, I did go over my face again with the Cream Blend by Mehron, just to make everything a little bit more white. Since we were adding the foam clay, it does kind of mess up the base a little bit. So yeah, just go ahead and watch me do the rest. So I did get a little carried away and I started adding a bunch of the fake blood before I realized I wasn't recording. So I am using more of a coagulated blood just so it can look a little more thick, and usually the coagulated blood is a little deeper in color. My mom did walk in halfway. But if you have spray blood or anything, you can use that. It really is just on preference, honestly. Again, I kind of rub that basically everywhere. And then I'm going in with the activated watercolors and just touching up spots that I feel like needed to be darkened a little bit. That's basically it, guys. It's really, really easy. The most difficult part was the clay foam, honestly. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!